Thursday the 17th of August, and we are about to move our cows into this nice tall green grass. This place was, I think it's its third grazing now, but I did top it after the first round. That's right, the first round I did top this, just a little square of it. I didn't top over there near the hedge, or I didn't top beyond that little fence line there. Besides all that, I'm going to do a little cattle breeding ruby shorthorn bull roundup of the situation that we find ourselves in. So I really should open up that fence and let them in. I'll do a quick little scan before I let them in. Now, as you can see, all is quiet here at the minute. I did leave, I was checking through my dates, and I took Ruby out on the 28th of July. And on the same day I left in the two bulls. Now, since then, I have witnessed the bulls breed the blue cow there, behind that roan heifer, the two Galloways, the red white head lead cow, Davy's heifer there, the white lady, the shorthorn, the other white skinny Clare, where is she? Over there. Who else did they breed? Madra. They bred Madra, and they bred the little red shorthorn heifer. Where is she? She is in front of skinny Clare there, behind them three red ladies. So that is what they have bred. They have been in the herd now 20 days. The 28th and now the 17th. They have been in the herd for tomorrow's 21 days. And so far, well, we don't really know now, but from tomorrow on we'll be checking. The first one that was bred was the blue lady there in front of me, and then two Galloways. So we'll be watching out for them. What has Ruby bred? Now that is the question. I did witness Frisian, as I call her, the black shorthorn heifer. We did witness him breed her for a fact. We caught her on a short video. She has not come around since. So we do have, I believe, one ruby calf there. Red shorthorn. This fence is off. Hang on. Red Clare, as I call her. What's up, Belty Bioke, huh? You and calf, are you? Good girl. Right, the wind is picking up here now. We've had good weather now this last few days. It's definitely drying out. So Red Clare behind blue there. I've never witnessed her come bulling. I've seen her slimy a few times, so I don't know what's the story. This lady over here, lead cow's daughter, or is it, what's her name? Red Whitehead. Stand back here. This lady here, I think she could be a calf to Ruby. I saw him follow her up in this very field 6 weeks ago, or thereabouts. And I thought I saw her come bulling secondly, but he was still with her that time, but I have not seen any activity with her since Ruby is gone. So I think she's carrying to Ruby as well. This lady, her daughter here, I've never seen her come bulling. I did see her very excited when Ruby arrived, but she's very settled since, and that's over 6 weeks now. So that is the situation. I'm going to be watching the second cycle of the shorthorns very tightly as the weeks go on. Now what I did was, where is she? Skinny Clare here now was bred by that roan shorthorn bull. There's he. I held them out yesterday. She was bulling mad yesterday. So we have had no son breed mother. We made sure of that. We kept her back with the roan, red roan, and we kept this lady back with the grey roan. And we'll be watching tightly to see will they cycle secondly. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to move this, or open up the gap and let them in. They have a kind of an L shape. I only give them a bit of a corner here. They have from behind that Look at this carry-on. Well, that I'm not worried about because she was only bulling a couple of weeks ago. Less than that. So they have from this corner here, right across the hedge, the far side of that hedge, well, all the way up here. They have a nice bit of a run here, and there's a gap up here. They go through, and they have a nice strip on the far side of that hedge as well. So they have a lovely sheltery spot. It'll do them probably a day and a half. We're in the afternoon here now, so I'm going to make the move here now, and I'm not going to stay on the phone too long. My mother and my sister is up, and I'm going to go home and have a chat with them. This wee lady never came bulling, and Maverick has never come bulling. It's funny that. So I'm going to open up this fence now and let them through. Oh, I'm falling. So we will have a couple of Galloways, I think, next year. And all the while these Galloways will be coming out with calves like that fella there, that bullock. So it's not too bad. I'm going to open this fence now. Now, come on in. So we can see the greys line here. They had their heads under that fence, and they grazed off a little bit of it, but you can see then the lovely, lovely green stuff they're coming onto. So I'm very pleased with that. Come on, boys and girls, keep her lit. I love to see them up to their knees in grass. Now, buddy, you can start moving on the other direction. Wait till I get the rest of these in. We're driving away, lad. Fair play to you for all the work they're doing. Now, calves, I just threw this spool on the ground to get recording this, so I better pull it tight. Now, this way. Maverick, how is it you're still confused? Yeah, she'll find her way. Here she comes now. Come on, calves. So that is the situation now. The weather, as you can see, the blue skies have arrived. It's not going to last too long. We've had 3 days in a row middling, and I think there's rain coming Friday. It mightn't be too bad, but what I'm at these times is trying to get turf home from the bog. So I must go down in the afternoon or this evening and get another load home. So that is the carry on. Belle, you're confused as well. I'll put this fence back now and sure she can find her own way. A short little video. I'll probably add it to something tomorrow, and we'll chat again very soon. Saturday the 19th of August. Just about to do a bit of a cattle move. We had another deluge, is that the phrase, of rain last night in off the Atlantic Ocean. And it is wet in places. Now this little area here I have fenced off. I topped this section here once on the first rotation. I didn't top over this side of it. Now the cows are roaring. I'll explain now as well also. Now this wasn't topped. Now you can see the rushes are actually struggling there now. The grass, having been grazed at a different level, a higher level, and not down to the ground and ate away completely, is now competing vigorously with the rushes and even briars there. So there's a lot to be said about not to be so concerned about topping. You can see them rushes there now, they're absolutely struggling. There's the big tall grass that's competing and taking over. You can see it here. Look, the grass is as strong and as tall as the rushes. Now I hope my phone is picking this up because it looks kind of cloudy as I'm recording here on the camera. Now, so that is the situation. So in there was topped. It's a little bit sweeter, as you can see. The flower did arrive on some of it, as in this little bite here. That's when they become less edible, even though cattle will bypass them 90% of the time. But yeah, you'd have a better chance if that wasn't on it, of them nipping it. Well, over the winter time they'll nip them anyhow. Not so much the likes of that old stuff. So anyhow, let me go through this little gap here. I was asked once before, why don't they go and clean them gaps and put a little bit of stone down them? Well, at the end of the day, they only ever come through there 6 times. And I'm going to walk through here now myself. And I'm going to turn around and look back at it and say, am I really that concerned about it? No. Why would I go and spend a heap of money on a gap that I only use a few times a year? Now, what's going on in here? Where's all the cattle? It must be on the far side of that. I haven't even looked at these yet this morning. So I knocked the power off. There's Skinny Claire there. God, that cow disgusts me. I'm going to have to sort her out. Right, fence off. Fence off. You're roaring at me. So they have that fairly et now. To be honest with you, I didn't get back to them yesterday with the rain. So these are mad anxious to move now. They've that et. They have that et way down. But I don't mind giving it a real good eating, to be honest. But I'm going to go, them calves, or that heifer's on the wrong side of that fence as well. But I'm going to call these. Come on! Come on, come on! Now they're on the far side of that hedge. They have to come in a gap up here and into me before I can go moving them. Come on! I can see them across the hedge there through the gap. They're starting to come. Come on! And then they're going to come onto this bit of ground here, and as you saw a second ago, nice green rushy ground, but it's drier. Well, it is wet in certain spots. There's actually kind of a spring where I was there standing. Yeah, so that was the wettest part of it. But there's plenty of place for them to lie down anyhow. Now it's a dull day. It's mild today. The big rain is finished with. But I'm anxious to get looked at my cattle today now, because I didn't move them yesterday. I gave them enough for a day and a half, but they've been on it for 2 days. I would have rather moved them, but I was busy yesterday. I didn't get a chance to. So I'm going to press pause here now and wait for them all to come into me. Come on! Now we can see they're making their way through the gap up there. Now, even though I didn't move them yesterday and they kind of slightly overgrazed this, but even at that, we have about 6 inches of grass left anyhow. Now I know that's not really great stuff for them to eat, but if they were mad hungry they would eat it. But here's the thing, they're so feckin' spoiled that they won't eat it. They nearly starved, the hoovers. Come on! They like the green lush picking. Oh yeah, that's the girl. You've arrived. Now, come on. Now, my only concern now at the minute is that lady there. I can't look at her much longer. I need to get her separated and get her home. So wait till I open this place now. Fence is off, yeah. We're all coming through now. She's definitely going to go. She has produced that lovely calf there, that bull there, and the lovely roan heifer this year. But I believe that all that breeding is coming from the bull that I had. It's not coming from her. Well, maybe so, but I just can't look at her like that. Right. What way is this? I used to do a bit of a step across that deep drain, so I'm going to press pause because I could end up upside down. Now, we're sorted. We've the gap open. Come on, girls. Now you can see that they're at me going through a mucky old gap, so they're up to their knees in mud there, but they'll dry that off, they'll shake that off, and they'll be grand now in a day or two. Now, where they were is a particularly wet spot, but what can you do? We had a lot of rain. Are they all in now? That's them all in. Maverick, you're last again, as usual. So as I said, we had a mother load of rain again last night. Storm, what was her name? Some old name, anyhow. So I'm glad to get them on up the hill. So it's up to higher ground. They're going for the next few days with plenty grass. That's the story now. Yeah, very good. Now I haven't been posting now as often this week. As I say, I had jobs to be doing, and I've also to be worrying about my turf. I've no turf home yet. I have a couple of loads left now, and it's not great. So I have to do that now as well. We have to start getting prepared and winter ready. The year is shoving on fast. We're now, what, the 19th of August. So yeah, let me just do a little walk through now again. So so at the minute now, I think all our cows are in calf. The ones that the short horns have bulled about 7 or 8. And then there's about 3 or 4 maybe that's carrying to Ruby that I haven't witnessed coming bulling in a long time. So I do believe that the cows are all settled at the minute. We'll keep a tight eye. So that would mean we're almost halfway through August, so it'll be into the end of May before we have all the cows calved, which is okay. So let me just run up here real quick. So I'm ready for home now. I have my battery on the new bit of fence, and I have disconnected all behind us. So what I was saying there is, yeah, the calving season, I was calving the cows in March and into April up to this year. Now this year they've gone, I suppose, with Ruby being Ruby, we're now into May calving. Now I had already intended on, to be honest with you, I was anxious about the cows calving. I even had one cow due to calf last year in February. Now, it turns out that she slipped her calf, so that was the blue cow. You might remember her. She was the boss cow. She was top dog. I sold her. She proved. She came bulling about 4 weeks before she was due to calf. So she was calving in February. I left the bull in full time that time. So Ruby was introduced. I had no bulls after I sold that fella, and Ruby was introduced for us to be calving in April. But they broke and they never held to them, and now they have held to the short horns if they have. So it's now May we'll be calving. Now the reason why I'm happy enough to do that is, I suppose when I started into this system, I kind of asked my cows to do an awful lot. I asked them to produce a calf for me every year, and I asked them to wean naturally. I asked them to be out-wintered. I asked them to do everything in one go, and I was going to filter out the cows that couldn't do it and hold on to the ones that were most adapted to this system. Now last year, some of you might recall, I did lose a cow. She died on me, and it made me think, was I asking too much of my cows too soon? So I had decided that I was going to shove on out the calving closer to the grazing season, which is May. So I'm kind of happy enough that the cows are calving in May this year or next year, that they will have grass like this in front of them. So that should give them a help, and also they won't be carrying as big a calf inside in themselves over the hardest months of the winter. That the cows will only be coming before they calf more demanding, just as the grass is starting to improve. So that's the theory in my head. If I had cows calving in March, that's a big ask coming through January and February to try and grow their calves inside in them. And with the natural weaning as well, last year was very successful. All the bulls that were on the cows last year had all weaned. I took the bulls off and castrated a couple of them, and they had all weaned. The cows had dried themselves naturally. That was in January. So they took them through the winter, well, over the Christmas as I call it. So they took them over the Christmas, and when I did separate them out, there was no calling. The mothers didn't miss them, and the bulls themselves didn't miss them. So they had weaned. Now I left the heifers on, and I put them nose rings, them plastic nose rings, the green ones. I never used them again. But I did do that. So this year I might have to do something different. I might take all the weanlings away for a week or so. I don't know. I'd like to do the natural weaning, but I will definitely allow the cows to take the calves over the winter. And as their milk supply naturally drops down, the calves will naturally kind of pull away from the cattle, pull away from their mothers, and they'll dry up. That's the theory, and that's what I hope by calving in May, that it'll be that little bit of a burden off them. It could work, this system could work better that way. So as I say, this is the little bit of an area that I did top once the year, not the last time, but on the first round. And across the way, I didn't top at all. And there's not that much of a difference. Only the old rushes are starting to lie down and die off themselves. And I didn't top up there at all on either side, beyond the quad. So yeah, we're super mild today. We're going to have more showers, I think. Not as heavy as what we have been getting. And last night, bet all. So on that note, who's coming across here now? It's the white, skinny shorthorns calf. I get mixed up with them two little roan heifers. But I'm definitely going to separate out that. Where is she? That lady there. I'm going to bring her home. I'm going to dose her, and I'm going to mind her a bit. She is now, well, she was bulling last week. She was bulled by the red roan. Yeah, she was bulled by the red roan. So whether she's in calf or not. Oh, that is her calf there. So that was Belle coming up. Right, okay. Let me see her again. There she is. She's very independent, that lady. Right, well, I've said enough for today. I'm going to go away now, and I have more jobs to do, and hopefully the rain will stay off. So for now, on the 19th, my brother's birthday actually, I'll say good luck and goodbye.